Yes, good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. Thank you so much for being part of Brinetic Sports. I'm really very excited to bring you another episode of latest news coming in from the world of sports. And usually we are always here to discuss what is happening in the infrastructure world of football, as well as other sporting disciplines. And of course, it's been a while since I last shared with you something about what is happening around this country, Uganda, as well as the neighboring countries, as we build up to the African Cup of Nations 2027. So I'm back with another small update, and I'll be giving you regular updates. Of course, there's been a few challenges that we've been going through, but now most of them are done. So we expect at least every single week to be giving you videos of latest info as well as news coming in from the sporting world. Ever since, of course, we talked about the renovation works of Namboole. Now Namboole is done. It looks very new. It looks very awesome. And of course, the benefits of having a stadium like that is up to the standards are starting to be seen. With the way we are now seeing the new, of course, countries coming into this nation, and they really want to be part of this interesting venture. You've seen a lot of countries, the likes of Zimbabwe, the likes of Kenya, all coming into Uganda. They want to host their games here, and we've even managed to get a few of the stars that you know from the Premier League, including the likes of Onana, coming and of course, being part of, that interesting past few games. And it has hosted over 6 or 5 games in the previous 1 or 2 months. And one of the things that we've noticed is that the quality of the stadium, the quality of the pitch and service has been superb. So we should congratulate the UPDF for the good work they've done in seeing that this stadium comes back to the quality that we know it for. And of course, the benefits, like I told you, financial benefits have been there. With of course, these countries coming in and paying huge sums of money to host their games here. We've also seen a mileage that has been given to Namboole as well as Uganda and East Africa through the stars that have been coming in here. I think Onana has been giving us a lot of mileage. I even saw one of those days when the first time he came here, the Premier League TV showing clips of us encouraging him to, of course, to be the best player that he can be, and us showing him the love. So it is coverage, it's mileage, and it's all because we've improved our infrastructure. And that is why this show is very important, because we want to see more of this stuff. We want to see more of the renovation getting over. Uganda is doing their job. Of course, the likes of Hoima Stadium are on their way. We saw development, excavation works being done, which means that already this the Suma group that is constructing the stadium are really looking forward to see that it is completed in time for the African Cup of Nations 2027. We also know that already the Akii-Bua Stadium, a lot of people have been asking where is the update, what is not happening. I've been going through the comments, and that is one of the few questions that have really been coming day by day, coming in, and people asking where are the updates. Yes, we all know that they gave two Egyptian companies to come out and build this interesting stadium. Already, we've seen sketches, artistic impressions of the stadium, how it's going to be looking, and it looks very good. Of course, some of these images were circulating all over Twitter from some reputable journalists, and one of them, I think, being Ismail Chiyonga, who I don't really doubt when it comes to information that comes our way. So I would think that whatever we saw might be the real design that we're expecting to see in the next coming months, and of course construction will be beginning as soon as possible. You remember that any nation that is going to be hosting this tournament is required to have at least 6 stadiums, and you remember we host this 2027 event as East Africa, so that means we need at least 6 stadiums already. Tanzania has already good stadiums, and of course it's constructing another one, the Arusha Stadium. We've not got a lot of information or images of the progress when it comes to the construction. In Kenya already, the Kasarani Stadium, which was one of their main stadium in the past few years, is already under overall renovation. A lot of stuff that is being worked on. We saw even the CAF president paying a visit to Kenya to see the progress, and he was very, very impressed with what has been done by the Kenyan Federation to see that this stadium is completed in time. The Talanta Sports City Stadium as well, the new 60,000 seater stadium is also progressing very well, and it's going to be a sort of art strictly football pitch because there is no running track like the other stadium, so it's going to be one of the best around. And of course, a lot of people have been trolling Kenya all over social media, talking about how Uganda owns them, how they cannot host their games at home. And this is because of the renovation works on their stadiums. So we expect them to be back on track as soon as possible when the stadiums are back, and they might even be better than us because they look like they are really progressing very well. Three stadiums at once, and Nyayo Stadium as well. It looks also going to be taking a facelift as well. So it's going to be interesting to see Kenya and how they're going to be, hosting this tournament. The same applies to Uganda. There are three stadiums: the Akii-Bua Stadium, Namboole, as well as the Hoima Stadium. So East Africa decided that at least each country should have three stadiums to really compete for the hosting of these rights, and it is something that shows you that even if one stadium fails, there's a backup stadium to really cover for that. So I'm really very happy. The Kenya police, or you can call them the Kenya Defense Forces, have also been doing these renovation works very well, just like in Uganda, and things are happening very well. In fact, not only that, we have the Keino Stadium. Other stadiums that are going to be working as training facilities are also being worked on. Here in Uganda, Chambogo Stadium is also being worked on. The latest updates, I think, I got to know was they were working on the watering system. So they dug boreholes and all that stuff, which to me is a plus because, we've had issues whereby stadiums like Namboole have had bills and bills of national water and sewage corporations piling up because they are using a lot of water. Yet we have natural water sources underground, and we can pump them up and just see how sustainable we can manage such a stadium. Like I've always told you, big stadiums are not my kind of thing. I'm very interested in seeing smaller but manageable stadiums. 60,000 capacity seater stadiums are good when you hear them, they are good. But when it comes to the actual maintenance of the stadiums and even the fans coming to the stadiums on a daily basis, it does not happen the way we expect it to happen. We've seen countries like Qatar, we've seen countries like South Africa that have hosted big tournaments, and after the tournaments, the aftermath really is very alarming. You see stadiums very empty, degrading every single day. So we don't want to have stadiums that are not going to be usable. And I'm very happy that the fact that Uganda chose to have multiple discipline stadiums or multi-purpose stadiums with running tracks, with swimming pools, with indoor stadiums, all in bid to really make them usable at every single day of the week. Because if this month we have a football tournament, next month we might have a swimming tournament, the other month we might have a volleyball tournament, the other month we might have a rugby tournament, just like you saw Namboole hosting the African Rugby Cup all the way on the outside pitch. So we need to have this multiple usage of these stadiums for them to really generate the funds to sustain them and also to make them, active in one another. So that is one of the few attributes of the new stadiums that I really think is a positive and a plus to our nations. Like I told you, Chambogo Stadium is being worked on. The Akii-Bua Stadium as well is also progressing very well. The drainage system I saw was being worked on, as well as the playing surface as well. They are now starting to work on the watering system and all that stuff. So it looks all positive with the way things are happening, and that will apply to the other regional stadiums. They should also have training facilities around them, like three of them. So it looks good in Uganda here with the way things are progressing in there. And like I told you, I'm not a fan of big stadiums. I've been looking through Africa because there's a problem when it comes to Africa as a nation, as a whole. In the recent hosted games, you saw a lot of teams not hosting their games in their home stadiums, Ghana and so many other teams, because of the lack of good facilities that passed the CAF regulations. And I've seen small stadiums that to me look very manageable. And if at all there are people, officials from teams like KCCA, of course, KCCA is building a stadium. The likes of Villa and all the other teams, they should bowl a leaf. Even Kitara really has a good plan for a small but manageable stadium. I've seen the T&A Stadium all the way in Ghana, and the team is called Madiama SC, and this stadium has recently been inaugurated, and I think the game was between them and Asento Kotoko. It looks very manageable. It's a 12,000 capacity seater stadium, but looking beautiful. When you look at the quality of the stadium, the facilities, and the way they really designed it, it is very awesome. So I really want to see us really borrowing a leaf from such beautiful and small stadiums. There's also one that I also was very interested in, Ekate Sports Stadium. It's a modern 80,000 capacity seater stadium. It's all the way in Udom. Sorry, it's in Nigeria, but the governor Udom Emmanuel built it for the Ekate local government, and that is a local investment from a local person. So it looks beautiful as well from the pictures and from the videos, and it is manageable. If at all we had every single bit of club, every single bit of football managers picking on such a trend and developing such small stadiums, as we have regional teams, we have community teams. This will really be the positivity of sports infrastructure development, and to me, they are manageable. They can accommodate the local fans, and they can still be stadiums that we can even have, a few of the, international games being hosted in there, if at all the facility is right, because all you need is you need a good media tribunal, media spaces, you need to have a good parking. I think that is one of the problems. I'll be talking about Nyayo Stadium, comparing it to a few small stadiums around, but that is why we have issues with Nyayo Stadium not really being certified as a stadium to host international games, because of things like parking space not in the stadium, but also spread around the stadium. Safety measures with, of course, having alternative routes. We've also had, of course, issues with Namboole Stadium, people breaking into the gates. So there's need for good security for you to really manage these international games. So there is a lot that is happening, especially to do with infrastructure development. And I really want to see Uganda as a nation pick on this as a lesson to learn from such stadiums, such small stadiums, manageable, 20,000 capacity, 18,000, 15,000, but looking very good, having good covered stands, having a better security procedure, having media spaces for international and as well as local media, having good dressing rooms. The most important thing, having bigger parkings that can accommodate everyone, and also, of course, the inlets such as gates that can really let the fans in, but also in a controlled manner. And the most important thing is being up to date when it comes to technology, because we are really getting into a trend whereby you need to understand things. Before it was just technology, now it's artificial intelligence. So you need to have everything, input into these stadiums to really meet the daily challenges that come with modern football, as well as the innovations that come with modern football. So if we pick such trends, then we will be 100%, there when it comes to the years when we need to host such big tournaments. But I really would love to congratulate FIFA as well, the government of Uganda, for the tireless work that they've done to really see that everything that they do, everything that they put in place, everything that they touch on, just looking at the Namboole Stadium and the way they've maintained that pitch, a pitch having over 4 games in just a period of 2 weeks, and it's still looking fresh as well, and it's still looking the way it's supposed to be looking. To me, it is a plus, and I really would love to give at least credit where credit is due. So that is what I had for you today. And we shall be keeping you in touch with, of course, the latest developments. I'll be looking at a few that is happening in Kenya. These nations, I'm going to be digging deep into their infrastructure, as well as Uganda, as well as Tanzania. So all that and so much more here on Brinetic Sports. I really would love to say thank you so much for being part of us. We will be coming back soon, as well as later, to tell you about what is coming from the sporting world. Have yourself a good day. Bye-bye.